Welcome to Coffee Talk. We're going to watch some creepy and conspiracy videos while doing a silly ad-lib story because why not? I've got my coffee. Let's watch some stuff. And don't forget to stick around to the end for my cutting room floor.
Alright, check this out because this theory could prove that ancient civilizations actually had contact with each other across the world. According to the history books, there was absolutely no contact with outside cultures, but there are pyramids in 5 continents, with similarities that don't make any sense if history is correct. These are thousands of miles away, and almost all of them have this 3-window structure. Have you ever seen the photo of the Last Supper? Look in the background, it's the exact same windows. Mexico, Cambodia, and all the way in Egypt. All created in a time when traveling across the ocean wasn't a thing. Keep watching because it's about to get really good. The Bahamas recently discovered a massive man-made limestone road underwater, and at one time the limestone was cut perfectly. And these land bridges are popping up all over the world, all headed out to sea, pointing at the direction of new land. Or like this one recently found in Sakhalin, Russia, when a massive storm sucked all the water out, revealing this massive road leading out into the middle of the ocean. Or like this one a NASA satellite recently discovered, now known as Adam's Bridge, connecting Sri Lanka and India. So could it be that these cultures somehow had a way to connect with each other? The similarities are almost undeniable. Let me know what you think in the comments.
That's what I was saying yesterday, how I think these pyramids must have been built by the same civilization, but there must have been some kind of travel that we are unaware of. I mean, the pyramids were built in a manner that we are unaware of, so who knows what else there was available at the time. I did not open up my mad takes because I'm way behind today. I'm a busy person and I apologize. So we're just going to go ahead and skip that one and move along to the next video and see what we can get going.
There are 3 big lies that we as citizens of Earth are facing. Can you go into depth with each of those 3 lies?
Sure, absolutely. The first one, Elizondo and that crowd stood up and started saying,
"It is my belief that the United States is in possession of exotic material, and unfortunately, that's about all I can say at this time."
yeah, well, there's something out there, and here's this footage, but we don't know what they are. Now, ironically, the footage that they were showing were from the Lockheed Skunk Works. Those were objects from Lockheed Skunk Works. I know who worked on them. I know where they're deployed from. I have a photograph of the underground entry port for those out in the Mojave Desert. There are 2 things that are being confused as one thing. There are both extraterrestrial and man-made UAPs or UFOs. The second big lie is that we don't know how these operate. Well, that's what they want everyone to believe, because if they were acknowledged, we know how these function, we'd be going, then what are we doing making solar panels and windmills when we have something that would be a box this big that would run this building 24 hours a day, rain or shine? The other issue is that these extraterrestrial civilizations are a threat. Let me assure everyone, they view us as a threat. Humans are viewed as a threat, not them. And if they were a threat, think about it. We start shooting these things down with electromagnetic systems, scalar, they're called, electromagnetic systems, in the 40s and 50s, 60s. If they were hostile, they're so far advanced with that, they just shut this whole civilization down.
There was a couple points that I want to touch on there. As far as the energy, you know that there is energy that is being concealed from us because it's not profitable. And that's what our capitalist economy is all about, is profit. And if you can't make money off of it, there's no sense in releasing it. There's no sense in allowing anybody except for the government to have it. Eventually, I'm sure something will be released, like they slowly feed us little bit by little bit, like these lithium batteries, or they have the cell phones, and then suddenly we have solar power, even though this stuff has been used for a long time. The second thing I want to touch on is the hostility of aliens. Obviously, if they're hostile, they would have already been hostile. I don't think they're hostile. I think they're just as curious about us as anybody would be about something they haven't seen. This is something I've seen for the first time. Moving on, I did open up our Mad Takes. It is at madtakes.com. The link is in the description as usual. And today we are doing Runaway Bride Proposal. I pulled 3 out of that last one just to catch up a little bit. An adjective, which is big, noun, which is material, and a number, which is 2. All right. May I just take a second to thank you so much for stopping by today? I really appreciate you joining me for today's coffee talk, and I hope you're having a good time. If you are, maybe you consider hitting that subscribe button and come back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every day.
Check this out. So I found this thing. It's called Project Looking Glass.
Please explain that.
So Project Looking Glass supposedly is a group of military personnel that came in contact with a device that was able to move in and out of time. So they were able to look into the past and into the future and different alternate timelines with this device. And this is insane, bro. So what they would do is that they had a specific chair that you had to sit in that for some reason came from an extraterrestrial ship, according to them. You would sit on this chair and there will be this device that's on top of water. And the person would project their consciousness into the looking glass and see time as a 3-dimensional thing. So according to them, when you move below the speed of light, there's 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. But when you move faster than the speed of light, it's reversed. You got 3 dimensions of time and 1 dimension of space.
So what does that necessarily imply, having 3 dimensions of time instead of space?
That means that you can peer into multiple layers of time instead of this one.
Okay.
So this is where it gets interesting. The thing about this is that your biases affect what you see. So if you are an atheist and you try to go see of Jesus' crucifixion, you won't see it because it'll put you in a timeline where that didn't happen. So they have to get someone there that has no biases to fully see what's going on.
Was there anything about where this device came from?
Supposedly it came from a version of ourselves in the future.
Did you catch that? First, he said it was from aliens, and then he said it was from a future version of ourselves. Although there was a video I showed about a week or so ago where there were the gray aliens, and they said they were ourselves in the future, so maybe he did contradict himself? Yeah, I don't know. We got a noun, which is space.
The government tried to take over reptilian civilizations.
The exact location of the underground lizard people city under Los Angeles as published in the Los Angeles Times, January 29, 1934. It was put together by G. Warren Schaufel, a California geophysicist mining engineer. By using his radio X-ray apparatus, he claimed to have pinpointed the exact spot of the hidden city of the lizard people. This map traces a pattern of tunnels and catacombs that seem to form the exact shape of a lizard. The borders form around the old batting tunnels underneath Los Angeles near Northfield Street, overlooking Sunset Boulevard, Spring Street, and North Broadway as it appeared in 1934. The tail of the lizard shape on this map points to the northeast at Lookout and Martyr Streets. The lizard city's main room is located directly under South Broadway near 2nd Street. According to Indian legend, lizard people lived on the surface of the earth until a great catastrophe destroyed their civilization more than 5,000 years ago. They built underground cities to protect themselves against future catastrophes. Some researchers say tablets in the main room show evidence of the true origin of the human race. It wasn't until the 20th century that widespread accounts of disappearances and even deaths near the Banning tunnels began to appear in local papers. This coincided with our destruction of nature to make way of our modern civilization. If we were destroying the lizard cities through our excavations and deforestations, were the lizard people simply fighting back in the only way they knew how? If the world governments knew of the existence of the lizard people, then they would keep it a secret from everyone else. Reports of strange disappearances and deaths not only were heard about in Los Angeles, but around the world. To name a few, in the catacombs of Paris, France, the salt mines of Bielichka, Poland, and the tunnels of Cappadocia, Turkey. Eyewitnesses, government documents, whistleblowers, all have shown that something is going on here that needs investigating. Is our human civilization threatened by a violent creature, half lizard and half human, that is reported to have now migrated all over the world, numbering in the millions, causing death and destruction in its path? Let us only hope we can unravel this mystery before it is too late, for all of us.
I'm not sure how I feel about that one. The audio was a little bit, and I know it was recorded off of a television, which makes it a little less, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Now, I believe in reptilians. Lizard people, mm, not so much. Why don't you tell me what you think? Are you team lizard people or are you team reptilians? We pulled an adjective out of there and it's strange.
Oh, my stomach. Oh. Stop, you know nitrogen-based atmospheres give me gas.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, everyone knows who David Grush is. We know that David Grush came out and said we have alien bodies, we have the craft of retrieval and all this stuff. And he said his life has been miserable since he did this on the 26th of July. But have you heard this news? It says the U.S. government could be set to reveal it's been hiding a real-life 30-foot wide alien TARDIS. Could this be... Now, TARDIS is a machine. A lot of people are like, the 30-foot wide alien. No, it's like the Doctor Who thing. I mean, if you've seen that, and that's what it is. And it's a machine, and it travels through time, space, and do they really have one of these? I mean, seriously. Is there something they're not telling us? I mean, because this is huge if this is true. Is this news even real? I mean, you know, like, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't even really know. It says the U.S. government may be hiding a real-life captured TARDIS, according to an intelligence expert who added some 10 UFOs have been retrieved, that sounds right, after coming in contact with the Earth's surface. Also this. Former intelligence officer David Grush told behind closed doors meeting, he said, of CIA, FBI, and Wall Street bigwigs, the 30-foot wide UFO is the size of a football field inside, can manipulate space and time, and is capable of harnessing enough energy to power 70,000 homes a year. Grush has said that his life has become a nightmare since coming out to speak about the U.S. government's reported involvement with UFOs. All right. 30-foot wide alien. Okay, on the inside is supposedly like this huge freaking world or whatever. I mean, this is what we were talking about in a former video. These UFOs look like something on the outside, and then on the inside they look totally different. So what's going on with this, guys? Tell me, is there any truth to that story about the 30? Is this the same 30-foot wide alien TARDIS that's been talked about? Is it Grush and that? Is it the same thing? Is it something different? Leave your comments. Let me know.
So that would be a TARDIS, a TARDIS, time and relative dimension in space. And that is why it is larger on the inside. And that's one of the things that all of his companions, or anybody who walks into the TARDIS, says is it's bigger on the inside, except for that one person that said it's smaller on the outside, which was absolutely hilarious. And I don't think that it's real. Because here's what's happening. That was released in some other country. I can't recall where it was. And in spring, which is in about a month, the new season of Doctor Who is coming out. So perhaps it's alluding to that. But I don't think the U.S. government has a TARDIS. And I'm sure it doesn't come with a doctor. The doctor. Maybe it's the master. Maybe the master came back. Ooh. I just got all excited. We got 2 words, verb, travel, and noun, machine.
Each individual exists in his or her own mirror universe. Do you know what a mirror universe is? A mirror universe is basically a reflection from inside your consciousness outside your physical world. See, your physical world isn't physically real. It's all illusions and perceptions of a limited 5 senses. What you see in someone, you see in yourself. And all this is controlled through your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind only knows you in this mirror universe. In other words, everything is a reflection of how you feel inwardly. The faults you see in someone is actually the fault you need to change in yourself. The limits you see in people are the limits you see in yourself. When you judge, When you become envy of others, your subconscious believes that's what you want. See, we inhabit an inner world that reflects the outer world. You see, the cause and effect happen on two different planes. The effect is the outer world. You try to change the outer world, you lose the cause. The cause is inner. Work with the inner world so you can change the outer world.
That sounded an awful lot like manifestation. Like if you want it in your subconscious, you can create it in your reality. We got a body part, and I just went with subconscious mind, and we're gonna hope that plays out. And adjective is limited. Here's our story. It's Runaway Bride Proposal. Look, I guarantee there'll be big times. I guarantee that at some material, two or both of us is gonna want to get out of this space. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But I also guarantee that if I don't ask you to be strange, I'll travel it for the rest of my machine because I know in my subconscious mind you're the limited one for me. How funny, the one that I didn't think was going to make it is the only word that actually made sense there at all, is the subconscious mind. All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks so much for sticking around, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and here's my cutting room floor. 3, 2, 1. I've got my Zoe. Let's watch some stuff. You want to watch some stuff, Zoe? Don't forget to all of them. I'm sorry. I'm just turning on my computer because I didn't do it yet. It's not impossible. Every day. All of the days. I don't skip a day. Not one. Not a single day am I missing. Doing them all. We don't actually thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. They were closer. I didn't open up the thing yet. I didn't open up our Mad Libs. I did not open up my Mad Takes, so I forgot to open up madtakes.com. Don't be a nerd. I get to talk about Doctor Who. I get to talk about Doctor Who. I'm such a nerd. I love Doctor Who. So I really, really love Doctor Who. I really love Doctor Who. I'm a big fan. I'm a bit of a nerd. I'm so excited I get to talk about Doctor Who. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't really know how I feel about that one. The audio was a little less than convincing, but the video, yeah, that wasn't convincing either. I don't like it. Maybe, perhaps. So maybe. I haven't seen any videos on it. I've seen nothing. I have no clue what I'm talking about.